Hey guys, and welcome to another Roar 3 Solutions release. Very similar to our last Kit Fox, we now have the Kit Fox Speedster, which is a kind of an aerobatic showcase looking model. It's actually a pretty slick thing. So I have a couple of, here we go. Here's a reference image of what the actual aircraft looks like. So you can see that it is, meant to be very similar to this paint theme, and it is the showcase of, for the Kit Fox experimental crew. So you can go right now and you can order this model for only 45 bucks through roar3solutions.com. You'll be able to see the file in here. We have a couple of added things to this one, which is kind of fun. As we've been getting more and more into the UV mapping, now we have fully UV mapped components so that you can go ahead and very quickly, let's go ahead and open this up real quick. You can very quickly go ahead and create your own images. If I can get this to work, your own images or your own textures onto the actual rest of the model. So what you'll get is, if I bring this up, this is the file that you'll get with it. This is just the quick, easy template of what's on there for the paint scheme. But yeah, I just want to show that it is cleanly unwrapped and ready for you to go ahead and make any adjustments should you desire to do so. So there's the aircraft, and then as we come in here, here is the aircraft model itself. So let's talk through what we got here. Another simple model in terms of functionality, but always give you the control and the ability to go ahead and do things that you need to do. For example, the level of detail in the editor. Oh, first and foremost, when you select the model, that's where the expressor tag is actually located within Cinema 4D. You go to Kit Fox controls, and boom, these are what you have to work with. So you have the ability to adjust your level of detail in the editor as always. Don't recommend you do that. Keep it low. It doesn't hurt the viewport. And I have, just like I did my other Kit Fox, I have actually modeled in the ribbing, and the ribbing is also weight mapped. So it's not a super low poly model because of that. But man, the output is just great. At some point, I'll probably make a normal map, and it'll look decent. But I just like the 3D model effect of it. With the ribbing in place, and as you see, as we increase the resolution, so these are all just mapped for some really nice creasing moving along. So if I bring this, let's see if I can do this for you. I'll do that, and just to show you, so here's some of the mapping that's within the body. So it is weight mapped. So just keep that in mind when you're actually going through the whole process of if you want to modify or manipulate the aircraft itself. So as you make adjustments, there will be things that could act a little funny on you because I do have that weight map tag. And if you're curious on how to do some of these things, look at our website and follow Roar 3D Solutions, and we'll be able to kind of walk you through some of the tricks and tips on kind of pro stuff for modeling on aircraft, because that's what we like to do. So going back in here to the rig, you have the option of a high and low model. Now, when you select the low, all it's going to do is remove everything within the cockpit, and it gives you a model that at a distance will just be a nice, clean, kind of sweeping thing, and it won't burn up a ton of processing power if you're going to be rendering it. Of course, as you're close in, I would just leave the high on so that you have all the detail of everything. You have the option of removing the wheel pants if you desire to. Personally, I think that wheel pants on this actually make it look really nice for the Taildragger. And the motor will only spin once the timeline is going, so keep that in mind. No motion unless you have the timeline rolling. And this is set up so that it is a physical rotation, so that as you're going through the actual the actual prepping for, say, an animation, you can use the motion blur within the physical renderer. So if you come into the physical renderer, you have the option of using motion blur, and that will actually give you a really nice motion blur. However, I do recommend using a alpha prop in place of it. It's just a smarter, much less processor intensive move. So you have your normal flight controls here. We have roll on the aileron, respectively, right and left. You have flap control, so the flaps can come to up to nothing or come down to 20 degrees. And then you have your rudder, which you can kick left and right. And with this, just like the other Kit Foxes, there's a lot of work that's gone into making sure that I use the character constraints to have the springs attached, and everything kind of flows respectively of itself, so that it does have a clean appeal. If you're doing an animation, you want to have the controls move around, you'll see the tail wheel kind of move back and forth. So you have your elevator going up and down. That's a whopping 30 degrees. And then you have your trim for the elevator, which is set within this little bundle here. So you'll see the trim tab there as it kind of articulates up and down right there. So if you're a pilot, you know exactly what those are for, and it's kind of a neat feature to have some of those things put in place. And of course, we have the actual doors that open and close. We have we have character rigging for all the arms that allow it to move open and close. And as always, you have your flight stick that is mapped with your actual control. And you'll see the rudder as well as it moves. Sorry, let's get a better view here. So the rudder as it's moving independently for each set there. So the only other thing I want to show you, and this is kind of the normal thing that we like to throw in there. So we do have the boot, and the boot will adjust as the stick moves forward and aft and left and right. So it'll be a nice clean look for the animation. And in this model, I did include a harness. I realized in the previous one I did not, and I did have a question about that, if it could be included. So, and this can be adjusted if you have a particular person that you want to throw in here and you need this to fit. Please reach out, let me know. I'm happy to give you guys a hand, and we'll make sure that it sits correctly. Okay, so I think that's about it for the moment. Do look for this in the store. Thanks for watching this channel. If you have questions or need any help on how to change or adjust different things on a model that is rigged, I am always willing to give you a hand and assist. If there's a particular paint job you want, but you don't have the skills to be able to make a paint job, also reach out to us. We're able to make exclusive paint jobs for you guys, just to make sure that you get everything you can get out of this and enjoy it to the best of your ability. If you're interested in a 3D printed model, please reach out to us and we can make that happen. It does take time, and the model in its current state is not 3D printable, but I do have some OBJs that I've worked in to be able to do so. So if you're interested in something like that, please reach out to us. As always, thanks for watching, guys, and happy modeling.